Mark Pope has been on a media run in the last couple of weeks, and there's always good things that come out of Mark Pope press conferences. They give you some real intel into how he is thinking and feeling. And he was asked about their exhibition with Purdue. This is going to have our full attention. We love covering both Purdue and Kentucky basketball. And as far as preseason exhibitions go, Purdue stepping into Rupp Arena to take on Kentucky is like the most exciting possible exhibition for next year. Both these teams should be very good. Purdue, a preseason number one candidate in a lot of sites, and Kentucky, certainly a top 10 team in the country. Mark Pope is also very excited. This is per Dustin Shute, who had an article for SI.com. Shout out to Dustin. But Mark Pope's quote here: I'm just excited for Big Blue Nation that we get to walk in here in late October and play the number one team in the country. I'm really excited about that. He's making no mistake about this. Some people have Houston number one. Mark Pope says Purdue is the number one team in the country. But he goes on. He doesn't just praise Purdue, the team. He has a lot of thoughts on Matt Painter. And here's the quote on Matt Painter from Mark Pope. He says, Matt Painter is, I don't know if he's the best coach in college basketball, but he's certainly got to be counted among the top couple. What he's done at Purdue is incredible. I have so much respect for him. He makes life really difficult for the teams that play against him because he's got a very unique, distinct style of play and style of coaching in every front. This is going to be so fun. Putting paint in the, I don't know if he's the best, but he's one of the very best coaches in the whole sport, per Mark Pope. Your thoughts on the gassing up of Matt Painter from Mark Pope?
Can you point me to anybody that Mark Pope has not gassed up?
That's a fair point after the Travis Perry decommit.
Yeah, like who are Mark Pope's enemies?
He's such a likable guy. I don't know that he has any. I bet you he's not the biggest Kevin Young guy after the way the last.
Yeah, I can see that. And I'm not here to say that I think that Mark Pope is like I'm not saying he's being like fake or anything like that. I think he's genuinely like you say he's such a nice guy that he really can't help but just compliment and be very like I said complimentary of everyone. And I think he's in the right by saying what he's saying about Paint and Purdue in general. It I don't know for me though. I guess with us doing this all the time, it's losing a little bit of like little luster on the kindness of this remarks because he gasses up everybody.
Okay, yeah, I think that's probably a fair read. Like they could have had this exhibition against any top 10 team, and Mark Pope would likely say the same things. But do you think who would Mark Pope's top five coaches in college basketball be? Because I don't think it's crazy to put Paint in that realm right now, is it?
No, I don't think so. I think his top five would be. See, I still think Mark Pope knows he's that guy. I think he had Mark Pope at one.
Secretly, he would never say it, but he
He would
believes.
never say it, but he has himself at one. Then he'd have like, I think he'd have the goats, the ones that are still around. Like he probably still put Self Samson up there. Then he put like his ops like Kelsey, Paint, and Coach Cal.
Okay. Um, what about him saying Purdue's the best team in the country?
I think they are one of the best teams in the country. Yeah,
One of is different than the best.
I think it's hard to argue that you can be different if you want to. You can have multiple number one teams. I recommend that.
Well,
Um,
so he was basically implying he's trying to get one other marquee exhibition on the schedule, and I'm fascinated because I kind of hope it's Houston. And if it's Houston, will Mark Pope also call them the number one team in the
yes,
country?
yes, he will. He 100% will. But no, I think that what Purdue has done, what Purdue has coming back, yeah, they are. They should be the preseason number one team in the country.
You are really lifting the curtain for me that this is just Mark Pope. This is what Mark Pope does. He's like a car salesman a little bit. Everything's great, right? Every feature is like unbelievable.
Yeah, like it's like just I got just the thing for you. I know just what you need. See, you have this. You need the four-wheel drive. You need the touch screen. You need the Apple CarPlay in your car. I got you. I would buy anything from Mark Pope. And I'm not even saying that as a bad thing, but there is like some generational, just like really good guy. Shout out to Cassidy, can sell salt to a slug. Like he's got a little bit of that to his game.
Why do I feel like there's some Mark Pope, Matt Painter similarities here?
Well, well, here's one similarity. Paint would have recruited Pope.
They're both quote unquote good guys that you could probably take the quotes off. They're both good guys that like have one very distinct style of play or something that they've done throughout their tenure and feels like they're just getting to their potential peaks maybe after like Painter's been around longer, but at least a decade of good teams. Now they're putting some great teams together. Now they're getting some spotlight. They have the same initials. They both wanted Braden Smith to be their point guard this year.
The same initials is crazy.
It's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah, no, no, very, very much so. Very much so. I see it.
Fast forward 20 years for me.
Okay.
Who's won more national titles, Mark Pope or Matt Painter?
Mark Pope,
What's the number?
2,
What's the number for Paint?
1.
So they both get one.
They both get one.
Okay. Be pretty great then. I feel good about my comp if they both get one.
Yeah. Well, except one guy would have 2 and one would have 1.
I guess that's true. Can we
Right.
get does Painter owe Mark Pope some return comments here? Like I kind of feel like we now need a sit down interview with Payne about how great Kentucky is.
See, I would hope Payne would kind of take oh, that's nice. I'm glad he said that about me.
Actually, you know what? They're not the
He, he's
same.
he's right.
We're Mark Pope. Oh wow, I'm realizing something. We're 2 years behind on the Painter arc for Pope. Does that make sense?
Like March Demons finally win some games, but
We
then he
kept
has to get to
saying
the point
for
where
Paint needed a dark side. In order for
mm,
them to actually get over the hump, he needed to get that like cutthroat killer. I'm not a nice guy. I'm Coach Matt Painter, and we're one of the baddest, biggest programs in the sport. Let me get what do Purdue fans call him this offseason? War chest paint.
war chest paint.
He had to turn into something. And so maybe does Pope need that same arc? Because Pope's made some moves that are like war chest Pope this offseason, but he's still trying to put the happy smile on, like happy go lucky. I'm just so gracious for the opportunity to be here. Wow, we get to play Purdue. Wow.
Yeah, I wonder what Mark Pope thinks about court storming.
I don't think I want to know the answer to that
He probably
question.
loves it. I love it, man. Like it's just so great to see all the students on the court. I want more court storms.
That might be why Paint wanted to schedule this. Honestly, Kentucky's the only fan base on earth that won't storm the court when they beat Purdue.
Yeah, facts.